running along the top of your screen any moment. I am indeed recording this session, and I will send that session in a recap that I will send out to all of you guys that are in attendance. It'll have everything broken down that I'm covering, so don't worry about taking too many extra notes. Just follow along. I have a couple of housekeeping tips. I ask that everybody please remain muted through the entirety of the session. If you have any questions that you're worried about forgetting, please utilize the chat that will be on either side of my face if you open it up. Otherwise, I will open up the floor at the end of the meeting for questions, and we will take all of those then. So for time purposes, please remain muted. I'm going to get rolling, and we will jump right in. Before we start and I share my screen, I want to stress that this is a process that is super easy. It's just all about workflow management. Anybody that's taken a session with me, you've heard me talk a lot about workflow in a lot of different things I do as a part of marketing. It's a way that you can set stuff up just to make your life a lot easier. All we're focusing on here is making sure that all your data is nicely organized and sorted on your desktop prior to the uploading to a cloud storage partner. And just as a recap of what we're doing here, this is a class about saving your listing concierge assets out of V1 before the VNew transition happens in a couple of weeks and you lose them all. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Anuj. I am the field marketing specialist here in Santa Cruz and Monterey County. Today, we're talking about that process because for those of you that maybe have missed the team app calls or just need a quick refresher, real 30,000 foot view is that Coldwell Banker originally had a third party, develop the software that Listing Concierge lives in. Over the course of the last couple of years, as we've utilized the program and gotten feedback from agents, it turns out that the developer couldn't quite meet the demands that the company and our agents had of the platform. So Coldwell Banker has redeveloped that software in-house to better meet our agents' needs. That being said, if you have more specific questions, highly recommend join the team app call in Sales Pro. It happens once a month. It is a direct line to the product team that breaks down everything that is being built for our agents in the company. No other brokerage does that because no other brokerage cares. And we build these software in mind for you guys to use them. So if you're not giving feedback, then you won't have any voice in how these things are being built. Highly recommend you join those calls. Getting off my soapbox, let's talk about storing our assets out of Listing Concierge, and then in my example, uploading them to the cloud storage partner, which is OneDrive, because that is a part of your ASP with the Office 365 suite. So what we're going to look at, obviously, we're starting on CB Desk, and everything we are working on today is going to live in two spaces. We've got Listing Concierge is the tile we're pulling everything out of, and Office 365 is going to be eventually where we put it all in. Before we start that process, we want to make a folder on our desktop. As you can see, I moved it right out here. Creating a new folder, right-click, new folder, right? And you're going to name that folder Listing Concierge Assets. In this folder is where we will create several subfolders in which all of our individual listings and their assets will live. What does that look like? You open it up and you've got a folder for each of your listings. We've got 1, 2, 3 fake street, 2, 3, 4 blank street, 3, 4, 5 another street, and then obviously every listing we have that we paid for, we're going to save in here. For my example purposes, because I'm not an agent, we're going to go into one of my agent's accounts. We're going to pretend like I've got one more listing left to save, and then we're going to upload everything together. So we go into Listing Concierge, and you're going to land on your dashboard. As you can see in here, there's 2 paid orders. And we're going to save our last one because we're going to pretend this one's already been done. The first thing you want to do before you start saving orders is click right up here, Order History. It's going to give you just what it sounds like. It will give you a history of every order you have paid for. And like I said, we're going to pretend John Street's already done. So all we have is one more address to save. We're going to download this PDF. And then I'm using Chrome, so I can click right here and hit Show in Folder. That's going to take me right to my Downloads folder where this is saved. And then I can left click, drag, and move it as I let go into our Listing Concierge Assets folder. Now, this order history isn't specific to a single order. It's for our whole history in the VNU platform. So we want to save that in the main folder itself. And if I open it up here, you can see the 2 orders. And like I said, in our example, John Street's already done. So we are going to save 125 32nd Avenue together. Now, of course, that's going to start by right-click. We're going to make a new folder in here for that listing. 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. And that's where we're going to download and dump everything that we save. Let's go back into Listing Concierge. I'm going to go back to our listing dashboard, and I am going to click. Obviously, every order that we have paid will have the order type, gold, silver, or platinum, that we purchased. We're going to go to the one that we want. I'm going to hit Manage Order. That will take you to your dashboard where you can see all of the assets that were paid for the order and the status that they are in. Obviously, if the order is complete, you should see everything completed. We haven't done the Just Sold postcards, but I digress. It's not important because the way those are downloaded, just like the mailer, brochure, the flyer, the advertisement, and the, I think that's it. Those are the items that will all download just the same. Same for the client report. That'll get sent to you. You have to request that from your coordinator. Again, your coordinator is going to be this lovely person at the very bottom of your menu. But that's the dashboard, right? So let's start with the easy thing, photos. If you look under listing details, we've got this whole great list along the left-hand side. We're going to start with photos. The details obviously gives us all of the text and marketing copy and all of that. We don't need to save that separately. I'm just going to show this here just in case you want to. You can create a Word document, save all of this stuff in it. But because everything was approved and printed onto things, we can just save the proofs that we're going to use because everything's going to be sent to your consumer digitally anyway. Moving on, photos. We click on photos. Now, this is only if you use one of the 5 Listing Concierge photographers in the program because they will have uploaded the photos into the system directly. If you used an outside vendor, they sent you your photos. So, we're not going to cover that. I digress. Let's go ahead. We hit select all. That's going to select all of our photos. And the only thing we care about is high res. We're going to click high res, and that download will start in just a moment, as you will see in my bottom left right here. Why are we just downloading the high res? Because they are the best quality photos that are in the system. You can make a low resolution photo out of a high resolution photo, but you can't turn a low resolution photo into a high resolution photo. It's very straightforward. Once those finish downloading, we can migrate them into the appropriate folder, but it may take a while because, as I mentioned, we're downloading the high resolution and there's 47 of them. So while we wait for that to finish, we can go back to our listing dashboard and start downloading some of the other assets, like the mailer. As you can see, when we open up these kind of proofs, you've got the completed item and a little gray arrow right underneath it. That is what's going to, as you can see, it says, well, you might not be able to see because it's tiny, but it says download. If I click on that, the download will start. And then it's a rinse and repeat for the rest of the items that are downloadable in that fashion, like the brochure. As you can see, you've got the UPS tracking information there because those would have been sent to you. Again, all we care about is downloading them. I'll click that little arrow and we'll see another download start right there. Perfect. Back to the dashboard. Gonna do the newsprint ad. Now this won't show you the ad in context to the rest of them. So I always highly recommend whenever you purchase one of these, try and get one of the publications that your ad will run in. For example, if you ran in my region, if you ran it in the Bay Area News Group, that's 10 publications. If you can grab one of those, that always helps. Otherwise, you can always send this to your client and then send them a list of the publications that you run a ad in and tell them this is what that ad looks like and here is where it goes. People hear with their eyes. If you can, and the reason why we're going through this process to save everything is no one cares what you tell them. If you can show them this is what the ad looks like and here's where it goes, This is what my television ad looks like, and here's where it goes. Here's what my website looks like, and here's here's how you can access one of them. If you can show that your consumer things, it will resonate with them 1,000 times more than you talking to them about it. It's the same reason why branding and imaging is so important. Visual representations of things resonate with consumers. There is a rationale to this, and you're never going to know what you need until you don't have it. So I always highly recommend you save these things because you paid for them, and that way you have them for future use. Again, the just sold works just the same way. You would click on it just like the mailer and download it. But since we don't have it, let's talk about the flyer. The flyer, when you click on it, you are going to see all of the templates that are in here. The one we're looking for is the one that obviously has the download option because it's the one that was completed. You'll also know that because it's got these two options to add it to a property website or add it to a shared listing. Excuse me. Again, you click on the little gray arrow and the download will start. Let's go back to the dashboard. Now that's all of the downloadable items, right? What about things we can't download, like a property website and the links to like a Matterport or your TV ad? Your TV ad will start here. You can actually download. I will include all of these instructions in the recap, so don't worry. All we got to do is take this link and take it to a website that I will give you so you can download the YouTube video. Highly recommend this. I teach a class on YouTube. You can find it in the recordings on the YouTube channel that I'll send you the recap for this with. There is a ton of benefit both from an SEO standpoint and from a branding standpoint and making sure these are on your channel and not just the at home in Northern California YouTube page. So we're going to download this video. Go to this website, put that share link in there, and you'll see an option to download. This will turn into a green bar, and once it's completed, it will allow us to download the video. That link I used, just for clarification. Oops, let's get back to the right page. That link I use right here is the same link, just for knowledge purposes, is the same link that you would use if you shared the video from here. That's the only link we're looking at. Now, once that's finished, obviously, let's download. We will see the download start. We can close any pop-ups that may arise, and let's go ahead and, whoops, I accidentally closed everything. Let's go back into CBDIS. That may happen to you guys, right? It's a thing that happens, even to the best of us. We're going to go back into Listing Concierge. We're just going to give me a quick second to get there. I will have a couple of extra steps because I am part of the staff and I have access to all of the agents. You guys will just land right on that dashboard page that I started on. So ignore the little man behind the curtain that you're looking at right now. And we'll be back after this commercial break in just a second. Let's get to the account we were in. And here we are. Bam, just like that. We're back. We're going to go back into managing my order. And we just downloaded that YouTube video, and now we want the property website. So how would we do that? Let's go back to desk, and now let's talk about Office 365 and email. This tile gives you access to the entire Microsoft Office suite. I'm going to stay signed in because the account, your Microsoft account, is what's created with whatever your CB Desk account is. You'll see all of the tools right here. Outlook, Word, Excel, you can install them. But I digress. OneDrive we'll get back to in just a minute. What we want to talk about right now is Microsoft Word. If we click on that, we can create a new blank document to save any links that might be important to the listing that we are saving. As you can see, I've already done this once before, but you would create a new document by hitting blank document. It will open you up to a page just like this that looks like any word processor. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a Word. It's Microsoft Word. I'm going to zoom this in just so it's nice and easy to look at. And as you can see, all we've done here is utilize this to create a page where we've got all the links that are associated with this listing. Now I've gone ahead and copied, like Matterport, for example. If you did a platinum package, you would get a Matterport, which is a VR 3D rendering of a property. Just to give you a quick preview of what that looks like. These aren't videos. This is for a different property because, again, the package wasn't a platinum package. But if you get one of these, you want to make sure you save it. And how you would save it is by grabbing this link. You would right-click and copy, or Control-C for those of you on Windows machines. And then Control-V and paste it right here next to Matterport, right? You would just go in here again like a word processor, type in whatever you are saving and paste it right there. Same thing we did for the website, same thing we did for the TV ad, that YouTube, just in case as a redundancy, if you don't want to download it just yet, but you want to make sure you have it. You guys get the point, right? We're creating a page with all of the links for things that are live online that we won't be able to access through that old platform once it's not there, just so this way we have them. Once you've got everything set, we hit File right here in the top left. We're going to hit Save As and download a copy to your computer. And that will download it too. And if you want to change the name, sorry, I forgot, you click right up here because you'll create a new document and it's going to be called Untitled. You'll go up here and type whatever you want that to be. I'm putting links for 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz, V1, and then we just downloaded it. I can go ahead and close that now. And let's go back into our desk. So we've got our website, mailer, brochure. All of this information you can get out of your Boost tile, which is right on your CB desk. Now, obviously, I got a lot of tiles here, right? If you need to find anything quickly, it's a quick little handy dandy tip. Just find an app, you hit Boost. HomeSpot or Boost is where you can download lead information that's happening from the ads that are running online in the campaign. And if you want to have a good example, if you had a really good one that ran for a specific listing, go in here and that's how you will download it. You'll see all of your listings laid out. I don't have any listings, so there's nothing to see in mine. All right, I digress. We've got everything in here, has been downloaded to our computer. Everything that we need has been saved. If you need the client report, again, get that from your coordinator. The update is the e-blast that goes out to all real estate agents in the Coldwell Banker area, from in our region from Carmel to the North Bay. I think Sac Tahoe also gets them. This is just a way to advertise in network. And then the email flyer, if you want to send one of these to yourself, you just click on that tile and then you can preview the email. And you can copy this link and save it in your Word document if you want to have it for future use. But again, I digress. Let's say everything is now completed. Now what do we have to do? We have to transfer everything into the appropriate folder and then upload it into OneDrive. So I'm going to minimize this. And as you can see, we've still got our Listing Concierge assets open. And we've got 125 32nd Avenue is a blank folder within it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my File Explorer. I'm going to open up my documents, which will allow me to quickly get to my Downloads folder. And this is where everything is. You can see everything I downloaded, preview and a ton of numbers. Got our listing photos, got my commercial. And we want to move these all into the appropriate place. But again, for headaches purposes, right, preview and a ton of numbers, don't know what any of these things are. I'm going to open it up real quick and then rename them. So this is our flyer. So I can right click, rename flyer. And then again, rinse and repeat. What are you? This is, looks like it might be our mailer. No, this is our brochure. Right click, rename brochure. What have we got here? This has to be the mailer. You can also call it just listed. Whoops. Right click, rename mailer. Again, we didn't save the sold because they weren't sent out yet. This is our news ad. Photos, links, and video. So I'm going to grab all of these items and we're going to left click, move over, see where we hover over the appropriate folder. Click, hold, drag where it says move to 125 32nd Avenue, Santa Cruz. And we let go, and just like that, they get dragged over. Let's go ahead and grab that video. And that is everything for my listing. If I open that up, boom, everything is right there. Now, if we check our order history, right, I've got all of my listings now saved. Now that that's done and everything's organized and complete, all of our listings are off of our V1 platform and on our computer, just like we did for 125 32nd Avenue, we can now upload everything in one foul swoop to our cloud storage partner, which is OneDrive, excuse me. Now, just to mention, the process is basically exactly the same whether you are using OneDrive, Dropbox, iCloud, Google Drive, what have you. Again, I am using OneDrive because it's already being paid for as a part of your Office 365 and email in your ASP. And I'm not a big fan of wasting money. So, you know, why pay for space that you already have? I digress. Let's go back into our system and we can see right here, let's take that pin out of OneDrive. When you open it up, it looks like any other cloud storage partner because all it is a file storage space. When you guys open this, it'll probably be empty. Mine is linked to my computer, and as you can see, it looks like any other computer folder, file folder. When you open it, you've got all your subfolders. You open that subfolder, you've got the items within that subfolder. Every file can be selected. You can select multiple files to move them, copy them to somewhere, delete them, download them, whatever it may be. You've got a handy menu on your left-hand side. You can change the sort because the default is by name. And that's about it for the big things. You can create new items, new folders, new Word documents. And what we want to do, because again, we did all the hard work and everything's been saved and organized, all we have to do is hit this upload button, upload a folder, choose our Listing Concierge Assets folder from our desktop, the whole folder, and hit upload. And click upload to confirm. And just like that, everything is done for you guys. Whoops, I've already got one in here because I taught this class last week. I'm going to delete the old one because I want to finish my example. And I'm going to upload folder, Listing Concierge Assets, upload. And just like that, you can see a progress bar pop up right here. When we click on it, it will show you the individual items being uploaded. And as we can see a few seconds ago, because again, it's alphabetical, we go to the L's. Listing Concierge Assets was created, and those items are starting to now populate into our cloud storage. Now we have something in our long-term storage partner that is not a physical hard drive space that will be safe for us to use for future marketing purposes, whether it's business related, branding related, or presentation related. You are all set. And once it's done, this progress bar will disappear. That is it, guys. That is saving your assets out of V1 and moving them to your computer and then uploading them to a cloud storage partner. I am going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen and open up the floor to any questions. Feel free to unmute your microphone if you would like, or type anything into the chat. Feel like no questions? That means everybody's got this. Pretty straightforward, right? Like I said, it's not a difficult process, but it will be if you don't time this out properly. Give yourself 2 to 3 hours a week. It took me less than 30 minutes to not only download that listing, but explain to you exactly how it happens. So you guys could knock out 2 or 3 of these in an hour. Whether you've got 20 listings or 2 listings, you will be ready before the switchover happens in about 2 weeks on the 24th. I don't see any questions popping up. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. I will send you guys